Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. There have been a lot of discussions in current times about the alpha and beta males, their traits and how this impacts male-female relationships. It caused me to wonder where this categorization stems from and how applicable it is to the human society. How relevant is this to relationships? This and more will be discussed in today's video, so please stick around and let's get to it. The alpha male term is part of the categorizations used in the study of evolutionary psychology, which leans heavily on observing animal interaction. Researchers have long been fascinated by the complicated social structures of chimps, gorillas, and our other evolutionary cousins. However, after the research by Dutch primatologist Frank de Waal, detailed in his book Chimpanzee Politics, Power and Sex Among Apes in 1982, people started to apply this term to human behavior. Chimpanzee politics is really a study of human behavior, particularly power dynamics within the chimp's dominance hierarchy. In humans, this is akin to a study of organizational behavior, which seeks to understand and manage the behavior of individuals and groups of individuals within any organization or structure. And so, it was not long for people to see how the observations in this book have some similarities with human behavior. And while this is true, especially when reviewing human interactions through the political and structural frames, this is not directly applicable in all spheres of life. And this is where the application to dating and relationships falls short. In both chimpanzee and dog park studies, it is important to note that the alpha and beta are positions, not personality traits, which is unlike the current use in relationship discourse, which sees these as personality traits. The alpha or beta male concept is not really rooted in science, and you won't find this in any biology textbooks. But thanks to pop psychology leveraging and often misapplying evolutionary psychology, these terms have become entrenched in current culture. The alpha male is seen as a natural leader, powerful, aggressive, and dominant, confident, and possibly very physically fit, one who displays masculine qualities such as a deep voice, defined bone structure, and muscular physique. I have included an excerpt from the book, The Alpha Male Syndrome, which details the most significant traits of the alpha male and the positive and negative effect of each trait, depending on how each trait is managed by the individual. This has been applied to work organizations, but I argue it is relevant to the family organization as well. In contrast to the alpha male, the beta male is sensitive and empathetic, prefers harmony over conflict, may struggle with self-esteem, is not naturally assertive and is often underestimated, is more introverted, adaptable, and flexible, is not traditionally ambitious for dominance, and often appreciates stability and routine. There are other male categorizations, but we will focus on these in this video. In these animal studies, the beta is seen as being a level below the alpha and routinely usurps the alpha whenever they are dissatisfied with the leadership of the alpha male. In chimpanzee politics, for instance, the position of the alpha was occupied by several chimps over the study period. This means that people who have alpha traits could be in beta positions, depending on the stage they are in life, as hierarchy in society and within organizations must always be maintained. But can people with beta traits be in alpha positions? With the change and evolution in our environment, the answer is yes. Why? Because the qualities needed to be a good leader in the workplace or society have changed. We are no longer unevolved primate animals. We do not need the leader with the loudest voice, the brashest personality, or the most aggressive and intimidating stance. We now look for qualities like ability to listen, to be diplomatic, to show empathy, intelligence, etc. The real alpha, as defined in research studies, does not really do well in today's collaborative environment and must lean into beta qualities to be an acceptable leader, not a dictator. But what is the relevance to relationship? Why is the beta seen as a caricature of a man when the theories from research do not support this? It is absolutely untrue that the beta males are taken advantage of within relationships. They are assumed to have an inability to lead and defer to the woman in all things. But this is just a grift from today's podcast bros who try to lean heavily on evolution, hormones, and most importantly, primal behavior to explain male-female dynamics. They theorize that women are drawn towards males with these primal male qualities like a well-built physique, high status, deep voice, intimidating presence, etc. So she can feel protected, so she can mate with the best mate physically and pass on the best of genes, etc. All these overemphasize the role of sex in decision-making and understates the fact that women now select or need to select long-term partners based on qualities like ability to be resourceful, empathetic, adaptable, ability to lead, not just direct, etc. Women making decisions simply on the basis of their hormones or sexual attraction is precisely the type of decisions that lead us to broken families. Because need I remind you that bad boys, that is the Pookies, the Ray-Rays, typically display some of these quote and unquote alpha qualities, especially when it comes to brash, aggressive shows of masculinity. Men who are suitable for long-term mates usually have a more balanced temperament and navigate alpha and beta traits as the situations demand. What do you do when your wife is crying, for instance? Growl in your deepest bass and command her to stop crying? Betas are not simps, and this is an unfortunate misconception. Simps are simps. A simp is a person, in particular a man, who is excessively attentive or submissive to someone in whom they are romantically or sexually interested. What is it in the beta male that makes him a simp? A simp is a person who has a weakness when it comes to women they are interested in, and this person can be alpha or beta. The beta's personality traits don't rid him of all sense. They only make him a more reasonable person, more flexible and adaptable, not necessarily a pushover. I think this is important as uninformed discussions calling for an aspiration to the archetype of the more aggressive dominant male could lead men who have beta traits to morph into unbearable fellows, simply to prove to themselves that they are man enough. Beta traits result in some strengths as well. Their empathy and cooperativeness makes them excellent at diplomacy and conflict resolution. In a world that is more focused on cooperation and teamwork, they are excellent team players. They may not actively seek to dominate, but they excel at leading people. They may need to build self-confidence and assertiveness, just as the alpha male needs to build emotional intelligence and patience, etc. In today's world, each archetype needs to identify and consolidate on their strengths and work on their weaknesses. It's not as simple as these podcast bros try to paint it. It's not just about being the top dog. The question is, do you have what it takes to balance alpha and beta traits with the aim of optimally managing your work, personal and social relationships, giving due consideration to the other parties while maintaining your own individuality? Thank you for watching this video, and please do like, comment, subscribe and share. Until next time, cheers!